So I've gotten a lot of questions in the last year and a half on how we create the prompts that we create inside of Bureau. And the process is really simple, to be honest. And that is, as long as you have a reference prompt, you can do whatever you need. So the process that I typically go about is I go into what we have, which is the prompt creation tool that we have. And inside of this, what I would then do is that I would explain in detail the function or the task or the prompt that I want to create and what it is to ingest, what it is to output. If I can make that as detailed as I want, or I can make it as general as I want. And I have one being generated now in the background, which is going to give us an output. Now, if I already have an idea, I can go in here and actually just create it. So I have a bunch of different prompts created already that is able to go into different things. So, for example, I have a narrative architect. And a narrative architect is basically going to help me to shape the narrative that I want to use when we are to position what we have. I also have another one, which is the LinkedIn Thought Leadership Generator, which is going to analyze some input and going to give me, so analyze the audience, the struggle, and the offer. And based on that, give me ideas for posts for thought leadership. So this is then going to go through and actually do those things. And the question then is, okay, when I now have those prompts, how do I actually use them? And I use them in two different ways. So the first way I use them is that I have this context node, which allows me to input details about the target audience and the offer and product. Now, what I need to run this LinkedIn Thought Leadership Generator prompt is I need the definition about the audience, the struggle, and the offer. I can either go ahead and manually input these, or I can just sync those from context, because we had a context node up above. So now all of those are synced. And if I then want to run those prompts, I can just hit run. And this will then go ahead and actually run that prompt for me so that I can get an output. Now, the biggest problem a lot of people have when it comes to prompts, and we are also, let's say, one of the reasons why you might have this problem or challenge, is that we have produced tons of different prompts. And the thing here is that you need to have a way to orchestrate them. Because if you have, let's say, 100 prompts or 50 prompts and they're just laying around, that's nice and all, but how do you use them? And you get an output from one prompt that you might want to use as an input in a second prompt. And that is why one of the things that we've built is that we've built this chaining function so that if you generate a output in one prompt and you want to use that in the next prompt, you can just do that. So for example, if I want to then go ahead and do an ICP mapper, let's say that I want to map out the ICP that I have. One good way of actually doing that is, again, using the audience and the offer. And the output of the ICP mapper, so the one that identifies the key target audience, might be good to actually feed into the LinkedIn thought leadership post ideator. So it's kind of like you use these and you branch them out so that you can actually use an output that you've generated in something else. And to the right of this, I have an example of this. So I still have the same context that I feed into it, and I'm using this audience research step one. And in here, I can then see the outcome or the output from that one prompt. And that is then used in the next step. So I have the offer architect. So all of these can then link together and actually produce something for us. Now, this is just a tip of the iceberg, and this is one part of the way that we do this. Another way that I just want to highlight quickly is if I go in to edit one of my prompts. So let's say I go in and I take the LinkedIn Thought Leadership Generator and hit edit. One thing I tend to do as well is I go to ChatGPT or similar, and I do like existing prompt and paste that in. And what I then typically end up doing is I do task and I say something like, I want to create a prompt as detailed as the sample below to help me perform the given task. The task is to dissect an offer, identify the objections, and list out counter arguments for each. It should also rank the importance or the objections to the weight they have, and hence the importance and priority in avoiding them. And what I then do is that I use this as an initial rough process. There's far more going behind the scenes in this one in terms of running prompts, but this is a lightweight version of how you can actually do this. And I just wanted to leave you with this. Like, if you want access to the canvas to save all your prompts and run them and link them similar to this, there is a link down below to schedule a call with us, but also request access to this. So I actually wanted to apply to show that you're interested in this, and then we're going to follow you up to see if we can give you a beta or a private invite to this canvas, because this is locked out and it's in pre-release currently. No one else has gotten access to it. So I just wanted to leave you with that. Next up is a question of how do you go ahead and actually create your full-on marketing strategy. And one thing that we've done in the past year and a half is that we've helped companies generate more than like tens of thousands of leads using LinkedIn inbound and posting as the source of generating those leads. And one of the reasons that we've been able to do that is that we've used the same system that we built to craft out content that allows them to actually create these resources, assets, posts, follow-up emails to not only generate the leads, but also nurture them and convert them over time. So what we have here is that we have the same type of context node, but we are going to be able to generate a content pillar. And content pillar is something that you need to have. A content pillar is typically the key topics and areas that you can talk about. Those topics are derived from the job or the problem or the outcome your product actually solves or addresses. So for us, we help companies with lead generation, lead nurturing, and lead conversion. Then those are the three topics. But then what are the ideas under those topics? And one of those are, let's say, building a pipeline without a marketing team. Now, under that idea, we can create a lead magnet. And a lead magnet in this case is the AI-powered founder pipeline playbook. And this is a full-on playbook with an outreach script, a prospecting scoring template, the automation workflow, these things. And the question is, okay, what type of content do you need to create for that? A lead magnet could be in writing, it could be a video, it could be a tool, it could be a prompt, it could be a sequence of prompts, or any other sort of format, as long as the key piece of resource or content is valuable. And that is why you have your context, so basically your audience, and you have your offer. You derive a topic based on those, and then you create and define your lead magnet. Now, in this one, it's a written lead magnet with a lot of different steps to follow. Now, for this, we have a couple of things. We have a landing page, which we can just simply like create a page, define what type of page we want. Do we want a landing page or a resource page? But the resource page is the actual resource. It's the guide itself. Then you want to have a LinkedIn post for it. So you draft a LinkedIn post based on that. Then you want to have an email. And an email is what you want to send to every lead that you generate or everyone that opts in to receive this resource. You can create multiple emails, and that's really what you want to do. Like, you want to have a variety in the emails that you send to someone to link them to that resource, and you want to create your ads. By doing this, you will then have a system where you can create a resource. It's derived from a topic that is derived from your offering and what you actually do. You have a LinkedIn post promoting it, and it's usually the common text to get it on DM, where you can use a lead shark to automate the sending. Extract those leads, push them into here, and then you can see what actually works. And those leads, you want to send them the email for the actual resource. So this email links the public page of this resource so that people actually can see it, they can get it. So if they comment, you get on DM, but you also send them an email with it. Now, everyone that you generate as comments, you want to keep on showing them stuff. So as you build out and create more lead magnets, more guides, more resources, you want to slap on some ads. And this is something you can do for as little as like $5 a day to start off with, and run that on Meta, so Facebook and Instagram. So you then create your lead magnets, you have the LinkedIn post to post about it and get people in, you send them the email so that they get it on email, and then you start showing them ads so that they can see you time and time again. The ads link the page or the resource because you already have their contact details. Now, this is one way. You can also run a paid ads campaign to generate the leads in the first place. Because as you create more resources and you post them on LinkedIn, what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to see the stats. Okay, how does this lead magnet perform? How's the next lead magnet is going to perform? Or how's the third or the fourth lead magnet is going to perform? And you will find a winner. Then you run some ads on Meta to generate leads. And you run that to a landing page where they need to opt in with a name, email, and phone number to get access to it. And that links them to the resource itself. Now, by doing this, you will have a system to organically post and get leads inbound. You have emails to send it to people. You have ads to retarget and keep on showing the resources that people have commented to get by running $5 a day ads on Meta. And by posting organically, you find which one performs that you can fuel and accelerate your growth with paid ads. Now, I covered more about, let's say, using this together with a sales team in a separate resource. I'm going to link that down below on this page. But this is the key thing. You want this system. Now, we run all of this, including, let's say, the scheduling to LinkedIn through LeadShark in here, where we can just like one click, generate everything with AI, set a time, let's say tomorrow at, let's say, 10:18 or 10:15, and we can just hit apply, and it's going to schedule that post to that time, and everything is going to be added into here. As you can see, the DM that people get, the comments people get if they're commenting on it. Everything, we do all of that in this one place. So this is invite only. There, as mentioned in the beginning of this video, with the prompt sequences and building those, there's an application form for this down below. If you want us to build the entire system for you, run this for you, there is also a calendar down below where you can schedule a call with Lindsay and my team, or someone from us that is going to be able to take you through the process of how we actually work with companies like yours, what requirements you need to meet for us to be able to run this for you, and also what we are going to do in that. Because what we typically do is that we set up all of this so that you have your own version of this canvas with your lead magnets, with your resources, with your pages, with your ads, with your emails, with your LinkedIn posts, everything in one place. So you can see in a snapshot how what you're doing and how what you're running is performing. And if you then want to chat with it, like ask it questions, you have your the Copilot and your AI assistant on the side, which has access to all the stats and everything that is within the canvas. So if you want that and you want access to this, click down below and apply. If you want us to build this entire strategy for you, click down below, find a time and speak to us. Hope this was useful. Hope you learned something about the process of creating prompts. And if this is interesting, we would love to speak to you. With that being said, my name is Harold. I'm the CEO and founder of Bureau Ventures, and wish you a great rest of your day.